Hello everybody, and Willie says hello too. Say hi, Willie. He really wants to run around. Willie just got his balls cut off. You want to show him your scars, buddy? Yeah, he's got the cone of shame on so that he doesn't mess with it. But he's doing good. It's like his third day with the cone on and he doesn't even know it. So anyways, here's what we're doing. Okay, so far we have a beautiful assortment of Mother Nature's building supplies for a cubby, and a lot of my old sticks work. I'll step back here. So it stands out pretty good. What I'm going to do now is cover it with some debris. All right, that's super cubby now. One thing that I did have trouble with at this spot last year, which is great about learning year to year, is it had a little flooding because my cubby was a little more forward and in this hole. So I have it up there, and I'll probably be getting a trap bed in pretty far out for the cats, right out in here, and my pheasant and stuff hidden back in there. And for this one, while it's dry, I'm also going to put a trap pretty far out for like a back foot, or for any of those curious coyotes that come around and they don't step all the way in. So all set here. Right, Willie? All set, bud. Well, over here, this is where I had a cubby last year, right? This tree had a branch out, which I was able to get a flag on. Willie, take it easy there, buddy. You gotta get used to this, huh? You gotta get used to this. So instead, I'm gonna use this tree island here because it's really visible from way up over there and up over this hill here. And down in here is where I suspect the bobcats are prowling, and they're gonna see this up here. And the wind is working for me, going that way towards all this cover. So yeah, this year it's gonna be this tree island. So I'll get this one set up and show you what it looks like. Okay, so what I'm looking for ideally, I'm sorry about the sun, there's the cubby. I'm looking for something out further here, like these trees, to hang my flagging from, because I want the cat to come in front and then notice the cubby. I want him to come right in front. It's not ideal. I wish I had something out here. I might use an artificial flagging here, although I'm trying not to flag people down. And anyways, I got the skeleton of this one made. So this is nice. This is going to be nice and dry here. And I can put my bait and lure in here, and I can bed some nice traps right out front here. And these tree islands are kind of hot spots for hunting. So I'm hoping this one's a producer. Not as much foliage around here to block this one in, but that's pretty good. Actually, I changed it a little bit, and I got some big logs from this debris pile here and blocked the back a little more, because I don't want things coming in the back. And in fact, if they start doing that, I'll set some traps on the back here. I like to have it up against more, but in this case, this is the best I could do right here. So now it's a little more blocked in the back. Just came in from building those bobcat cubbies out on the line here on the farms near my house. And sorry for the background noise. Willie's down around digging in some garbage. So it's his favorite thing to do. Hey, Willie. Yeah, he's gonna pay no mind to me. Here's what I wanted to show you. I got a box of these new 1.5 double jaws. So these are Duke 1.5 double jaws. Double jaws mean that they have the jaw sort of split, so there's this wave down here, which helps to keep animals from chewing themselves out. And I specifically got these because I'm going to start working more towards learning water trapping pocket sets along rivers, targeting mink, otter, raccoons, whoever wants to go near that, muskrats. Willie, now he's messing with the broom. So maybe he's gonna clean up after himself. I wanted to show you something about these though. Well, first of all, I'm tagging them up. So I've got a bunch of my trap tags here. So just every trap has to be tagged, so I'm doing that. But I'm also presetting them to see how they are. So we can see with this one here, the trap pan is nice and level, so I'm gonna go under the loose jaw and actually try to trip the trap. Guess what? It doesn't trip. Oh, so barely. That one barely went. I could push it down quite far. So one thing I have learned, and I'm also doing this, is I'm loosening the pan tension so that these pans will be floppy. This one's still a little bit stiff. I want them to pop right off. But the point is that the dog is set in there so that it has to go down so far to pop the trap off. I want it to go off a little bit sooner. And here's another one, brand new out of the box, and look how high that pan is. So this one will go under the loose jaw, and I can barely touch. First of all, so now, at least my theory is the animal's paw is very far outside the jaws when this is going to go off. So there's a possibility of a miss. I want them to be committed all the way down in. So if I just move this a little bit, yeah, and there it goes off. Sorry, I had my hand on the spring. But that one goes off, you know, the pan's too high. So this is mostly what I've learned from predator trapping anyways, that I want to have a nice flat pan inside those jaws. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to bend this part just a little bit with a wrench. And again, I'm no pro at this. I know there's actually a tool, I used to have one, I can't find it, that you can put right on here and kind of have a better angle, but you can just use a wrench. And feel free to put in the comments if somebody knows better than me and I'm doing this wrong. But I don't want to make the steel weak, but I'm just going to give this a little bit of a torque. You didn't see it, but it actually did move a little bit. And then we're going to reset this trap and see if we have the right angle for our pan. Okay, so I set that one on the floor so I could get my feet on the springs. I feel a little bit more comfortable that way. So I set it, and the pan's still a little bit high. I mean, it's probably acceptable, but I'd like to bend this a little more and get it just a little flatter. You can see across there, it's just a little bit high. So we're gonna try it again. Set this one off. So I'm just gonna put a wrench on here and bend this a little bit more in. All right. Okay, well, now as far as pan height, I love it. It's like nice and flat with the jaws. And we'll go under the loose one here and see if it goes off now. Perfect. So that's what I'm feeling really good about that. So sometimes with these traps, you got to go through every single one. I don't want to be out there on the trap line messing with these in the weather. So getting them all set. Got my bucket of 1.5 coil springs, and I have some older ones in here too, and a bunch of the newer ones. So we're going to get through the rest of this box and get these ready to go. Yep, all right, setting my first Fisher box right along this log here. Beaver in the back. 160 set, stabilized with some sticks. Just gonna cover it up a little. Okay, I don't think you really have to cover it up, but just hiding it mostly from people. I'm gonna use a little Dunlap's Fisher lure long distance call in the trees right here, and then a little Hawbaker's Fisher lure down in the box. This log back here is a spot that I set for Fisher and caught one, I want to say about 7 years ago, and I haven't set there since. So hoping that'll help out. Maybe it's a pattern of the Fisher to be right along this area here. So I've got one more box to set at this area. Okay, there's a stream here and this log, and I got a box right down in there, all set up as well. It's beautiful woods here where there have been Fisher before. It's just a waiting game now. So I'm really kind of excited about this spot because this is a stone wall, which is very common for Fisher to hunt along. And there's a hole right down in here. And my buddy has a deer stand along this wall right up in there. And last year he was watching Fisher run along this while he was in his deer stand. So I've never sat here before, but I have a good feeling about it. Yeah, so here in New York State, this is what's called a legal box for this type of lethal trap, the conibear. I believe this space here can be no more than 6 inches, and I believe we have to be 8 inches back. I'll put it up on the screen, but that's why I use this. I built these for fun. I would say wooden boxes are a bit of a pain to carry around. A lot of guys use mailboxes that they convert, or wire mesh cages, which you can totally achieve the same thing, which I think probably is even better in terms of lightness and portability. And I forgot to bring my cable, but we're going to go ahead and use this trap and wire this right up to the tree here. What happens sometimes with these boxes is raccoons, and a raccoon might stick his arm in there and get his arm in the trap, so he's not dead, he's held. We need to make sure the wire is holding him to the tree so he doesn't walk away with the trap, and we can dispatch and harvest him. Yeah, so trap's right down there. So up on this tree here, gonna take a little bit of Dunlap's Fisher lure and just put a little bit on this stick here. And hopefully that's an aroma that brings them into the area in this wide range. And I'm gonna take a little Hawbakers on a stick here and just throw it right into the box. So that'll lure them right in down there. I built this cubby the other day in the sunshine. It's getting colder tonight. So I'm gonna start doing Bobcat sets now, and also Fisher sets. So I put out 4 Fisher boxes, that's all I have. It's pretty low percentage chance, but I got them out. And I'm gonna put out the Bobcat sets, which I have a chance of getting a Fisher in as well, because I did last year. So if I get canine, I'll be surprised, maybe fox. These are pretty spooky sets for coyote, so I doubt I'll get a coyote. So yeah, here we go. So I already got my flag up. It's super duper windy right now, so the one issue that you can have with these is they get twisted up in the branches. So in that case, you can do a swivel, like a fishing swivel, and a lead weight on there, split shot or a fishing weight, which I don't have today. But we'll see how it goes. I'm also going to strip a few branches so there's nothing close that it can get twisted on, but I think that's looking pretty good. Again, the idea of this is they're going to see this flag from way down here or way down here, and then they're going to come right to it, and then they're going to see the cubby. The fox do like to come and steal my pheasants. If I was a little bit more prepared, I would wire them down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bait in a hole in there too. Oh, there's a nice one. So that I still have the set working with something in the ground. For this one, we're going to use some Dunlap's Hostile Predator Gland Lure, and we're also going to use Hawbaker's Wild Cat Lure number 1. I'm going to throw a little bit of each. And then for bait, we're going to use Skippy. It's actually Bud's Trapline Buffet, so my own bait in this one. Okay, that's the finished set. We got our turkey feather flagging and 2 traps bedded, pheasant in the back, bait in the back, lure inside. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm at my second cubby on that tree island, and first thing I did was dig my bait hole. So it's pretty deep down in there, deep enough that they really have to dig at it to get that bait, which I'll put in the end. I have my first trap bedded with a drag chain off that way. Now I'm going to do another trap a little bit further out for that cat that doesn't commit. And it stinks here. It's very, very rooty. So I'm not able to put my traps exactly where I want them. But what I'm going to do is block them really good, so they have to step in them. this chain up a little bit. We got some more. We'll put a stepping stick right here because our pan's right there. Going to block off this side. This is where the root is, and I knew that I couldn't get the trap in there, so we're going to just put some sticks over here. Make them step right there. I think I want to get one more stick right over here. All right, time to bait. Trap here, bait hole back there. So for this one, I'm gonna use some Top Dog Predator bait from Hoosier Trapper Supply. It's my first year using this, and it's good for bobcats too. Wow. Okay, and I'm gonna just spatula some of this up. Get it way down that hole. And we're gonna use Paul Baker's Wildcat lure number 1 in here. Find a nice little stick, throw that in there. These are my baiting gloves, so I only wear these when I'm handling baits and lures, and my other gloves were my trap setting gloves. I'm not worried so much about human scent as I'm worried about targeting my trap, so I don't want my traps to have lure or bait scent on them and then they put their nose down there. I want their foot down there and their nose over there. Okay, so now we're gonna go get our pheasant. Okay, we got a beautiful bird here, so we're just gonna do like we do for bobcat sets and make an explosion of feathers. This one's set. I didn't have ideal flagging tree for this one, so it's a little off to the side, but I still think anything coming up over that hill or down in this brush or all the way out on this field is gonna see this flag, and they're gonna come in here and smell this, and yeah, we're all set with this cubby. Super flashy, scary to canines, except I did catch a lot of fox on these, but I don't expect a coyote, and I don't really want one right now. But I do want to try to get the cats. Well, we got a raccoon this morning in the bobcat cubby. That's okay, that's what's going to happen sometime, so he's a little early. Willie's pretty excited about this. Yeah, take it easy, buddy. Although we didn't get our target bobcat for our first catch of the 24-25 season, it goes to show that the trap's working, right? Okay, well, we did connect on the first night of traps being set. Just not exactly what we were looking for, but we got a opossum here who got into the Fisher set. So we'll just get this reset. Here's a good sign. This is right in my backyard. Check out this clip. Yep, it's a bobcat right behind my house. And my trapping range is out here too. So you know they're here. Hey everybody, yeah, it's just a start, so this has been a lot of trap setting and not much checking, just 3 days check, but we only connected on a possum and a Fisher box and a raccoon in one of the bobcat sets. But I hope building those bobcat cubbies was helpful for you. It has worked for me in the past, and well, let's look forward to connecting in the next few weeks. I hope those demos on making bobcat cubbies were helpful to you. They have worked for me in the past, so we're just gonna have to wait and see how it goes this season. So until next time, this is Trapper Dan and my Trapper Doodle Willie. And remember, Trapper Snore, sustainable, natural, organic, and renewable resource. Right, Willie?